What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Sports Prodigies podcast with your hosts. I'm Aiden.
And I'm Jeremy.
And to have on Chayden Peery to the podcast. Say what's up, Chayden.
What's up, guys?
What's going on? What you been up to?
Nothing much, man. Just getting my workouts in. We start practice, modified practice on Monday, so just kind of preparing for that and seeing how that's going to go.
That's great. Obviously, during these times, we hope you and your family are safe. And how is everything out there in Cali right now?
It's different for sure. Everything's really still closed up. I just went to Atlanta a few days ago, and I mean everything in Georgia is open. It's like night and day, whereas California, I mean, still you can't eat in restaurants yet or anything like that.
Yeah,
so.
I live in Florida and like everything's open.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, same as me. I live in New York.
Has your
things are starting to open up?
Has your training been affected at all, or have you been able to get in the gym and get your work done?
My friend has like a little weight set up in his gym in his garage. So I mean, I go over there to go lift. Just find a park and go throw. My QB coach is still available. So I work out with him.
Okay. That's great. And let's dive into the questions. So obviously you committed to Georgia Tech. Why did you end up picking Georgia Tech?
So I mean, of course, the education and the job placement, all that was great. The coaching staff, the relationship I had with the coaching staff was really good. And then I just felt like that was the best place for me, and based on how I was raised and the morals and values I was raised with, that was the best spot for me.
Yeah, that's great. But like you said, you're from Cali. Georgia Tech is on the East Coast. So how do you think you'll handle the transition from the Western to the Eastern Coast?
I mean, I went this week, and it was a place that I'd love to be at. So, I mean, I think it'll be fine. I don't think distance has ever messed with me or anything. So I'm excited to get out there.
A lot of people usually talk to us about how they don't want to go away from family, and obviously going across the country is a long way. So Did that have anything to do with, like, obviously, like your parents, if they're living in Cali still, going all the way to Atlanta to go see you?
Yeah, well, my parents were actually thinking of moving to Georgia. We actually checked out when we were out there, we checked out some neighborhoods and in some of the surrounding towns, like suburban areas. And then my dad's like corporate headquarters for his job is in Duluth, Georgia, which is about 20-30 minutes from Atlanta. So I mean, he'd be able to move out there with the family, and he'd still be able to have the same job and just have a transfer. So and then even if they don't move, I think I'll still be fine. I still like the area, and they prepared me well for life, so I think I'll be fine either way.
Yeah, Georgia's a beautiful place. Obviously, you're starting to go down there and see the campus, but Georgia's overall a beautiful place. I've been a couple times.
No doubt.
Yeah, so you're a junior in high school right now. What would you say is your biggest goal? You can either say personal or your team going into your final, like, senior year.
I mean, team goal, of course, state. We've came up short the last 2 years, actually. So I think just to cap my senior season off with the state championship would be amazing. Personal, I mean, I've kind of completed my personal goal, which was to, be committed and have offers and options. So, I mean, it's all focused on the team now and just racking up wins and getting to that level of a state championship that we want.
And what would you say is like the biggest thing you need to work on before you get to college?
I'd probably say, I mean, elusiveness, of course, and mobility. And then, I mean, of course, it's overall strength and maturity. I mean, it's so much faster and everyone's top tier in college. So that, and then honestly, just getting to know the playbook, because I know that's a big thing is learning all this stuff. So I'll be there hopefully in January. I'll be graduating early and being able to start that a little bit earlier in the spring. So
yeah, that would be awesome. And I know a couple kids are thinking about that we've had on our podcast are thinking of doing that, but that would definitely give you a head start on everything.
Yeah.
So when you're on the field, do you have like a best skill that you would say, or do you think it's your overall game? Like we've talked to a lot of players. What would you say is your best skill?
I'd say just awareness and ability to gauge risk and reward. I definitely think my accuracy is a top thing for me, and I just being able to find the right guy and knowing what the defense is doing, what my guys are doing, and then just being poised and calm through tough situations.
Yeah. So, who would you say, like, did you have an idol growing up or someone you compared yourself to in the NFL?
I'd say Brett Favre. I just love the guy's toughness and grit and ability to just make pretty much any throw on the field. And if he wasn't able to make it, he'd still make it. I mean, it didn't really matter to him. He had supreme confidence in his play. So I definitely like him a lot.
Do you have somebody you would compare yourself to in the NFL?
I mean, not too much. I'd say that I admire Tom Brady's attention to detail. And then, like, I mean, you got Aaron Rodgers who's able to just make plays. And you got people like Peyton Manning who are just field generals that know everything that's happening and are so prepared and put so much time in their preparation that no matter what's thrown at them, they're ready.
Yeah. So how has the pandemic affected your recruitment? Like, you weren't really able to take any visits. So did that like have any effect on when you wanted to make a decision or?
I ended up making a decision fairly close to when I wanted to. It was probably around the same time, like late spring, that I wanted to make a decision. So it didn't matter too much. Of course, I wanted to take more visits, take a few officials if that was possible, which kind of sucked that I wasn't able to do. But I mean, my dad had been around Atlanta several times for work, so it was kind of like not too bad to commit without visiting, just because my dad knew all about the area and knew if it would fit me or not. And he told me, he was like, it's a great place and I love it there. So I felt no need to not pull the trigger and commit.
Had you ever visited Georgia Tech unofficially or just like when you went to Georgia before?
No, this was the first time was this past few days and just going around like Atlanta and stuff mostly.
Yeah, and we want to wish you congratulations, obviously, on just committing. It's a huge accomplishment and definitely something that probably you and your family are really happy about.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, so talking about offers, could you tell us who offered you first? Like, what was your first offer and what was that feeling like?
My first offer was Nevada, and that was actually crazy because that was in 8th grade.
Wow.
Pretty crazy and pretty rare. And that was amazing. It came at a great time. So it was awesome, and I think it gave me some people think it like makes you too gives you too much hype and it takes away your drive. But I think it gave me more drive because I like that feeling and I wanted to prove people right and prove myself that I'm worthy of that offer and I was worthy of more.
Yeah, that's crazy. 8th grade. That's like really early.
Yeah.
Yeah, but obviously you're playing up to it, so that's really good. So you've probably been asked this question before, but just on like a national standpoint, whenever somebody says Sierra Canyon, they obviously think of Bronny James, Zaire Wade. So does that bother you at all that like whenever somebody says Sierra Canyon, they're not really thinking about the football program?
I don't think it bothers me because I think we have a great younger class below us and more to come, and we've been constantly leveling up at Sierra Canyon. So I think in about 2 to 3 years, people will definitely talk about Sierra Canyon football wise and not just basketball. And I think we'll be a team that's up there with the Mater Days and Boscos and all those teams. So I'm excited to see what happens both this year and after me. We're up at that Division I level where we will play against Bosco and Mater Dei at some point, most likely, or those Trinity League teams more often. So, I mean, I don't get bothered by it because I think our time's coming for sure. But it's been cool to kind of see Sierra Canyon become, a small school, a school that going into 8th, 7th grade I didn't really know about. To, I mean, everyone knows about it here in SoCal, and everyone knows about Sierra Canyon, and we're a top tier team out here.
Yeah. Is it like cool that you have like such high level athlete sons at your school?
Yeah, I mean, I think Sierra Canyon embodies just an elite school, and that's elite. I mean, just people who are super smart, just straight geniuses. You got people who are celebrities' kids. You got people who are athletes, and if you're an athlete here, you're most likely either going D1 or competing for that. And most of our athletes, I mean, our basketball team, our girls basketball team, our volleyball team, our football team. I mean, those are all top tier programs in the state. So I think when you think of Sierra Canyon, you just got to give respect to how elite it is.
Yeah, for sure. So, what do you want people to know about Chayden Peery that they might not know already?
I mean, of course, there's more to me than just playing football. I'm actually bilingual. Spanish was my first language. My mom was born in Nicaragua, and she was an immigrant here. So that was my first language. I'm also a part of a Native American tribe, the Peoria Indians of Oklahoma. Which, I mean, if you saw me face to face, you wouldn't think I'm Hispanic and Native American, and I look nothing like that. So I'd say that, and then I mean, just off the field, I mean, I'm not just all football. I definitely am driven, and I get my workouts in, and I'm very hardworking and committed to the grind. But I mean, I'm also just a person who likes hanging out with friends and cracking jokes and being funny and just being really goofy and having fun.
Sounds great, and definitely showed a lot in this podcast. You sound like a great guy, and we'd love to have you on anytime.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so that's going to wrap it up. What?
No, I was just saying thank you.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. And that's going to wrap it up for today. Chayden, we want to thank you for coming on. Means a lot from the podcast. If you're on YouTube, go subscribe and also like this video. And if you're on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, go like that. Signing off with your host, I'm Aiden.
And I'm Jeremy.
And everybody have a great day. Thank you.